Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jesper and I am a music producer slash sound engineer based out of Canada. Today, I wanted to make a video that I hope is gonna be helpful for a lot of you guys, especially upcoming artists that don't have that much experience in a recording studio environment. Now, today's video is about 5 tips on how to ensure a good recording session. Now, before I give you my 5 tips, I just want to tell you guys that I don't think I have the absolute truth when it comes to these 5 tips. It's really just some ideas that I've had and noticing what happens in my studio. Now, hopefully you guys have other tips that you can bring on the table, and please comment them below, because hopefully what is going to be happening in the next months and years to come is that a community will be built around this channel, and if we can help each other, that would be awesome. So if you guys have any other 5 tips, please comment below. That would be amazing. And if you want to see more of these type of videos, please subscribe to my channel. I promise I won't be spamming you with useless videos, but on the contrary, I'll try to do as much videos as possible that will help you in your music career. So let's get started, and these are not in any particular order. Tip number 1. Know your song inside out. And this is very important because a lot of times I've had situations where some artists come into the studio and they're still figuring out the lyrics, the parts, the harmonies, the melody even. This is crucial. Why? Because if you know your song inside out, as a musician as well, if it becomes some sort of second nature, well, we'll be able to focus in the studio on the performance itself, on tweaking bits and pieces, but not the song, not the songwriting part. That is a process that has to be done and dealt with before the recording stage. A recording session a lot of times is mostly mental than physical. So we want to maximize your energy into the performance, not into figuring out the song while you record. Tip number 2, tune up your instrument. And this applies also to vocalists. But if you're a guitar player, please change those strings before the session. If you're a bass player, if you're a drummer, as much as possible, try to have new drum heads on your kit. If you're a singer, please take care of your vocal cords. Hydrate, eat properly, exercise. That will help you tune your instrument. Tip number 3, that is linked a little bit to tip number 2, is get as much rest as possible before the session. As a rule of thumb, try to get as much rest as possible 3 days prior to your session. Now, let's be honest here. Life happens. I don't know your reality necessarily, but I have kids. There's a baby on the way. I know that it's hard sometimes to get some rest. Try to hack your lifestyle into finding ways of gaining a little bit more of rest, a little bit more of sleep, a little bit more of downtime, because it will be necessary for the recording session. Tip number 4, it is often overlooked, but I think this is super important. Warm up properly. Now, just a heads up. Warming up during the sound check is not proper warm up. I've had so many situations where singers come in and I ask them, hey, did you have time to warm up? Oh no, but while we sound check, I'll have enough time to warm up. That is not how it works, guys. The reality is that to have a proper warm-up, you need a good amount of time of doing a gradual warm-up for so many reasons. Number 1, we're talking about endurance. The better you warm up, the longer you will have endurance. As a drummer, warm up your limbs, stretch out your limbs. If you're a guitar player, a keyboard player, bass player, warm up those fingers. And if you're a vocalist, those vocal cords need some stretching before the session. Have you guys ever seen a professional athlete get into a game without warming up? Definitely not. He will for sure injure himself. So it's the same thing here. As soon as you wake up in the morning, when you jump into the shower, start warming up with vocal exercises while you're eating breakfast, on your commute to the studio. Please warm up, and in the studio as well. We're talking about endurance, but we're also talking for getting your levels set properly. When you're warming up, the sound engineer needs to set levels, needs to set the right microphone distance, and other technical stuff like that. The reality is that the volume that you will project, the way you sing is not the same pre-warm-up and post-warm-up. So we need you guys to warm up properly so everything goes smooth during the session. And tip number 5, I want to talk to you guys about being in the right mental space. And this is a little bit more philosophical, but I think that it's important. You need to get in the zone when it comes to recording. As much as possible. Now, I don't know what helps you getting into that mental space, into the zone, but you need to eliminate as much distractions as possible and be focused on the recording session. It will pay a lot in the long run. Now, some people may be certain things. Some people may be physical exercise that gets them in the zone. Some people may be a quick jog before the recording session. I even once had a singer that to get into that mental space, she needed to FaceTime her son that was back home. And she FaceTimed him for like 5 or 10 minutes. And when she came back, she was on her A game. So whatever it takes for you guys to be in your mental space, in the zone, please do it. And find those little tips and tricks. And if it's a physical object, bring it with you to the studio. It's an artistic workplace, so there's no right or wrong answer. Bring whatever you need. Don't be embarrassed. And that will help you get into your mental space. Now, I hope that these 5 tips helped you guys, or will be helping you guys for a near to come recording session. So please, guys, once again, subscribe to this channel, like this video if you think it's helpful, share it, please. I'm sure it can help 1 or 2 people around you. And until next time, keep making music.